So what's up, everybody? I just want to make a quick video and give you guys my personal opinion on this 2008 Toyota Prius that I've been driving for over a year now. A little bit over a year, about 13 months now. I drive it every day. I drive it everywhere. It's been great in the snow with my Bridgestone Blizzak WS80 tires. Performs pretty well in the snow. I haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Albeit we had a very mediocre winter this past winter that we had. Nice Tesla Model 3. That's a nice one.
Where is it?
Right over there, the white one. Nice. That boy's real clean. So bought this car with 114,000 miles on June the 27th of last year. Now it has 137,000 and change. I drive to Chicago a lot. It's part of what I do, my job. You know, I drive people to places, and I do a lot of immigration jobs. Like, people need to get to immigration, whether it's the ISAP or the USCIS or whatever. But I do a lot of driving, and it's been very good. Well, excuse that. That is my cop radar. And every time I get a Cadillac or some type of GMC truck next to me, it goes off and it just goes crazy. Thank you, Cadillac. So, I've racked up some miles on this car. I recently had to do the front wheel bearings because ever since I bought the car, they were making noise. They weren't too loud, but they were making noise. So I switched those out. It's beautiful now. It runs like a brand new car again. Excuse me. The struts are all original. Everything's original on this car. I changed the blower motor on it because the blower motor was making some squeaky noises, so I changed that myself. I also did the cabin filter. I put one of those carbon filters, and I did the spark plugs at 118,000 miles, and they were the original plugs, and they weren't bad. I switched them out thinking that they needed to be changed, and they really didn't. I ended up switching them out for premium stuff, for the original suggested from the manufacturer. I did the same with the wheel bearings, did the same with all the parts that I've changed on this car. Have been the best I can buy. And so far, it's been a beautiful car. Practicality is incredible. Fuel economy is unbelievable. I've done 3 trips to Chicago on a full tank of gas. I brim it, I fill it to the brim. I have fuel spewing out of the hole, which isn't a good idea. It's not good. It's not a good thing to do. But I get to Chicago from here in South. I live in Southwest Detroit, in the 48210 area, and I drive to Chicago, north, south side, wherever there's a consulate, Honduras consulate, Guatemala, El Salvador, whatever. And I drive back on a full tank of gas. And it's about a 600 mile drive and change. I drove about 639 miles on the full tank on one tank of gas. So I'm getting about 48.5 to 50 to 52 mpgs on the highway, depending on the weather. I've noticed that depending on how hot it is, if it's really hot like it's been lately, it kind of decreases a little bit on my fuel economy. Not much, but it does have an impact. It was 100 degrees yesterday in Chicago, which was weird. The whole time I was there, the car was displaying 100 degrees. Right now it's 88 degrees, and I'm getting 55 miles per gallon. Just cruising around, just left downtown. Today's 7-Eleven day. At 7-Eleven, free Slurpees. I don't recommend the Pepsi Slurpee. I recommend that Blizzard.
No, blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry. Yes, blue raspberry. That is a very good one. It's more like pop. It's like frozen pop. It's not really good. That's a real Slurpee. Or slushy, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a very quick, I don't know what to call it, recap or small review on the Prius that I drive. I absolutely love this car. I am a car enthusiast. For those who don't know, I used to race at Waterford Hills Raceway, Gingerman Raceway. I used to go to Mid Ohio. So I know about cars. I've worked on cars all my life. I was a mechanic for years. You want to call it an automotive technician, if that's what you want to call it now these days. Everybody has to have some sort of tech behind their name. I was a mechanic. Okay, I worked on cars for a long time. I currently own a 97 Volvo 850 T5 that's in my garage that I'm working on, and it's a nice car. It's pretty quick for what it is. I've had anything from fast Civics to, you know, old school Sentra SERs. I've had BMWs. I've had all kind of cars. I've had fast ones. I've had slow ones. I've had minivans. I've had trucks. So I am a car enthusiast. I like cars, and this car doesn't take anything away from that. It's a good car. It gets up and goes when it needs to, albeit it doesn't have a lot of power. Only times I've noticed where I wanted more power is when I'm on the freeway in a traffic jam and I decide to pull out of that lane and floor it, and somebody's coming behind me. That's the only time where I wish this car had more power. Other than that, taking off the line, driving around town, it does the job. It's a beautiful car. I love it. It does the job. It's well built. It's not squeaky. It doesn't rattle. It's comfortable. I really recommend these cars. If you are mechanically inclined and you could find one for cheap with a bad battery, I would say buy it. Absolutely buy it. That's my plan for my kid. I might buy him one with a bad battery, and between him and I can teach him how to work on cars somewhat by having him get hands-on experience on swapping out one of these batteries. Not a big job. I mean, it's okay. It's a you know, for the average person it might be a little bit difficult, but I've done this before. It's no big deal for me. But yeah, just wanted to do that real quick. Wanted to let you guys know my experience on my Toyota Prius. For those of you who have considered the idea of buying a Prius, I say go for it. These cars are bulletproof. Original brakes, original struts, original everything. Only thing that mechanically that I had to change on this was the front wheel bearings. Other than that, it's been a beautiful car. I highly recommend them. Go and get you one if you want one. I don't know, maybe after this video the prices will go up. Hopefully not. That will suck because I want to get my son a cheap car in case he crashes it or bangs it up or anything. I don't spend too much money. Not this guy, my other son, my older son. This young man here can't drive yet, which is nice. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I just wanted to, tell you guys, give you guys my point of view on this 2008 Toyota Prius. Just so you guys know, this one does have the keyless entry, where it's got the buttons on the sides. I don't even have to push the button on my key fob. I can just push a button on the two front doors or on the trunk, and it locks it automatically. I don't have to put the key in the hole in the slot. It does have a rear view camera, which is nice. Doesn't have GPS, doesn't have the Bluetooth or all that, but I did install Bluetooth on my own. Rockford Fosgate has some very good ones, and they're cheap. They're about 35 to 50 bucks, and they're easy to install. But yeah, beautiful car. I highly recommend it, and I would suggest you guys go out and get you one. Till the next time.